Hey, welcome back everybody. This is part 3 in our series of the P-40B Tiger Shark. In the first couple of parts, what we did, we washed our parts, we showed you what was in the box, and we put together this little piece right here, which is the floor base, the little man in his chair. So the next step is to put together the fuselage. What we have to do is break the fuselage parts off of the sprue. We're going to paint some of those Chromate Green, and we're going to put some other pieces in there. First things first are to paint this area right here on both sides Chromate Green. Take our chromate, we'll get a little bit on our brush, and just start going over this. You want to stand clear of these little circles right here because that's where our other pieces are going to go. We now have to paint our exhaust ports, which are right here. The plan says to paint those brown, but I've got something a little different in mind. I'm going to use something that's called Titanium Buffing Metalizer. It's supposed to be for airbrushes only, but I'm going to use that for these exhaust ports because it's going to look really nice when it's done. It's pretty clear when you paint it on, and as you can see, it just comes out right like this, and it's going to look really good. It looks basically like it's rust colored. We now have to paint part number 9, which is located in a strange area and it's hard to miss. It's right here on the end of this sprue right there. So we're going to paint that black just on the top portion of it, like so. Piece 10 is located right here. It's got a little tab on it, so we're going to go ahead and break this off already. That way it's taken care of. Just get a good portion of black on this. Paint that black. The last piece that we have to paint black will be the control panel. We're going to paint all that black, and then we're going to lightly shade it in with silver and coloring. We're going to scratch it in, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. While those parts dry, we're going to attach the exhaust ports, and they've got little circles right here that all you have to do is just fill those with a little bit of glue. Take the proper exhaust port right here, and we'll just stick that inside. It's got holes that will line up with where they need to go. Just make sure you get those inside the holes. Press them in nice and firm. Let that set up. There's one on each side, so we're just going to do each side of these real carefully. I'm just going to stick one on each side just like we did on the first part, and we will wait for this chromate to dry, and once that dries we can put the other stuff in. For my small pieces, for the instrument panels that I have here, I get a little bit of silver on the tip of my brush. There's a little bit of silver on the tip of my brush like here, and I wipe a bunch of it off just on the sides, and then you can take this piece and very carefully scratch, as I like to call it, I scratch the silver across the raised portions. That way it makes it look like dials. See, as I do this, it's bringing out all the raised portions. See how that works? Before it looked like nothing, now it looks like an instrument panel. Now I'm going to apply part 9 right here. Just got to scrape away a little bit of this paint. Get a small piece of plastic cement on there. We're going to do the same for the other side right here, except we're going to use part number 10. So part 10 will go in right like that. Do the same thing, get some plastic cement. You don't need a lot on there because it's going to melt together. Pick up our piece. Just secure it where it needs to go in place. We can proceed and we put in our instrument panel. We need to make sure that that piece fits in properly as well. With our paint scraped away right here, we're going to take a little bit of glue, put it on this round circle right here, and some just right on this inside, right there. We have our glue on this circle right here, and a little bit of plastic cement right here. And we are going to fit that right there into that little gap. And that should fit in there just like that. We'll let this dry a little bit, set that in there. When that dries, we can put our other piece on. With that dry, we can take our cockpit, and it's got two portions on it, which are here and here. And we're going to glue those into these small circles right here. Just to make sure we don't have any paint on there. Put a little bit of cement in each of these ports. Probably a little bit on this bar too, won't hurt anything. Take this little guy, stick him right down in there. And we want to make sure that he is properly seated. As you can see right here. That way he gets a good base when we go to glue the rest of this down. We're going to take these two halves and fit them together, but we want to test fit it first to make sure that they will go together. So we're just going to put this on top like this. Put that there. Now it seems there is something stopping it. If you can see right there, that is not going to let us break these two pieces in half. So we've got to trim that off, that way we can put these halves together. Just get a knife, find those pieces that have little stuff on them that we don't want, and just slowly scrape those away. You want to check it each time you do this, that way you can make sure your pieces fit together. Just go all the way around the edges, feeling everything for anything that might be sticking up and interfering. So we got stuff right here too. There's some more flashing right here. We want to check both parts. See a little bit right here. Some right here. Try these one more time to see how they fit together, and this time they should go together okay. I've got all the flashing cleared from this fuselage, and now we can glue it together. So just carefully place some glue on the inside of these little tabs right here. Go along the outside edge with a little bit of glue along the whole fuselage. Place some right here, a little on the edge. There's some more tabs right there. Get some right here. And again, going lightly all the way around the edge. Be careful not to get your hands in the glue. So you just want to do light coats of this. Get it good going on the outside along the edge here. We're going to be gluing this down right here. Blow glue on that tab. Bring it all the way in. You do have a little bit of working time with this. We're going to take this piece here, put some glue in each of these little holes. Got some holes right here. This is where the cockpit sits down in, right there. And right here. I'm going to piece this together, put some right here on these tabs too. We'll use some stuff to hold it down, so I've got some clamps and some tape. Make sure all your parts meet up the way they're supposed to. And make sure you don't get any glue on your fingers. So this meets up fairly well right there. I've got a clamp I'm going to put right here, just to make sure that stays secure. Got some tape right here. I'm going to use this to make sure this stays secure. We're going to do the same on the end. Now that we've got that done, we can let this dry and we'll come back and we'll do some more. According to the instructions, it calls to paint this here, Chromate Green. We're not going to do that right now because we want to wait until after the model is painted. As well, we need to assemble the prop propeller area right here. It says do not glue inside of there. That's what this little symbol means. We can put glue in here. I guess the idea is so this prop can turn. We've got our guns, which we need to assemble. It says the tips need to be painted black. We're not going to do that either. We're going to wait. We can put in the tail fins, which are 2 of those. This, we can assemble that. I've already pre-painted it, but we're just going to wait and put that in until the rest of the model is painted, since it gets a different color than everything else. Now that our glue is dry, this is set for a long time. We're going to take this tape off. See how everything looks. Probably gonna have to put some filler in here later. That's more of an advanced modeler step, but you can do that anyway just to learn how to do the process. Clear off some of this stuff right here, our excess. Everything looks pretty good. I'm happy with how it turned out. We're going to take our prop piece, which is right here, this one and this one. The directions call to stick this through the back side, which is right there. It's a little bit tight. Get that all the way in there. And we're going to put a little bit of plastic cement. Probably be best to put it right here just on the tip of this. That way when it squeezes down, it doesn't get stuck on anything. I put some glue on the tip right there. We're going to put that just inside of here. Hopefully that goes to the bottom and it sticks after a while. Move that around, that way that glue gets in there. We're going to glue that to this right here. It's going to fit right in these slots. We're going to put some plastic cement on these, just around here, a little bit on the inside there. Go around some more. Flip it over, do the same thing to this side. Find those 2 notches which are right there. Make sure you place this in the proper order. Part number 15 goes right along here, and that's this one. I've already laid that out. I'm going to carefully place this in position right here. Just like so. Place it down, make sure it's good. It's got a little notch, which is right there. And we're going to put that in the proper spot, because on this model, it's also got that same notch. Put some more plastic cement, just a little bit, all along that edge. Probably be a decent idea to put some on this tab right here. A little bit on that slot. Clearly it's got these circles on it, so we know it's going to go on the bottom. Just going to fit in right like this. Make sure those notches line up. Do the same for this side. You can see that sticks out on the other side right there. Take this, place that where it goes, right in here. Make sure it goes in all the way. This concludes part 3 of the P-40B Tiger Shark. You see we've got our whole fuselage assembled here. In part 4, we're going to assemble the wings, which you can see is the next step over here. And after that, we'll be doing our landing gear and our bombs and our propeller. Thanks for watching as usual. Don't forget to subscribe, put some comments on there and likes.